And joining us now from Washington, Senator Jim Demint, Republican from South Carolina. He is a vocal opponent of the president and health care reform plans, but he's also a speaker at the rally today in D.C. Good morning, Senator. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Kate.
So the organizers say they're expecting thousands, as Yunji just said, this coming after all those emotional town hall meetings over August. I guess I wonder what is driving all of this sentiment? I mean, what is bringing people out on it early on a Saturday morning, do you think?
Well, the interesting thing, Kate, is this is not a Republican gathering. A lot of them are already in town. They came to see me yesterday. They're Democrats, independents. They're people who said they've never been involved with politics. There's just this increasing concern in America about where we're headed, all the spending, all the debt, the talk of new taxes, the government takeovers. People are just alarmed, and they're coming to appeal to their government here in Washington, and I think that's a good thing.
The other night, as you know, your colleague from South Carolina, Representative Joe Wilson, as we just saw in the piece, shouted down the president. You, after the speech, said that you thought the president was belittling the millions of Americans who oppose his health care plan. Help us understand the sentiment in South Carolina, in your state. Is it anger? Is it resentment of the president?
Well, this is not just this president. This has been going on for years, the growth in spending and debt. And I'm glad to see Joe Wilson apologize, but he made an important point that even Senator Baucus has said there is a loophole that essentially will guarantee that illegal aliens are going to be insured and with taxpayer-subsidized health plans. So it was good that Joe apologized, but it was also good that America heard that what's being said about this bill is what's in the legislation.
Talk more, though, about Representative Wilson's outburst the other night. The White House Chief of Staff, Rahm Emanuel, right afterwards said that no other president has ever been treated that way in that kind of forum. How do you interpret Emanuel's comment? Was he implying that only an African-American president would be treated this way?
I don't think that has anything to do with it. I heard President Bush booed many times in his State of the Union speech, and he was called a liar by the leading Democrats. So these folks can't pretend that they've gotten their feelings hurt. Really, this is not about the one or two comments. This is about a national movement of Americans of all political stripes who are saying this country is going in the wrong direction, and they're tired of being lectured to. They want to be listened to, and that's why you've got tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people in Washington today who just want to be listened to.
Is there any danger, Senator, though, that the movement goes too far? I ask because one Republican strategist this morning, Mark McKinnon, is quoted in a paper in the Washington Post, and he says, quote, "Right-wing nutballs are taking over, co-opting your message and your media coverage." What do you say to that?
Well, they haven't met the people that I've met. These are average Americans. They've got their children in strollers. They say they're concerned about the future of their children and their grandchildren. These are not right-wing or left-wing. These are average Americans who've taken time out of their day, out of their week, and spent a lot of money to come here to Washington because Washington is asleep. Both parties have led this country to the edge of financial disaster, and they're still passing these bloated spending bills that are going to take this country over the edge. So it's not about President Obama. It's not about the Democrats. It's about the whole system here that's been out of control for a number of years. And Americans need to speak out because the country doesn't belong to politicians. It belongs to the people. And I'm glad they're here to take back their country.
We will be watching today. Senator Demint, thanks so much.
Thank you.